friends, and welcome back to the Time to Level Up podcast. How are you? Guess what? It is launch day. Today, September 26th, 2023, is the day that She Thinks Big, the entrepreneurial woman's guide to moving past the messy middle and into the extraordinary, is released. It is now available to purchase on Amazon. So head to shethinksbigthebook.com to get the link to the special Amazon pricing, as well as all of the other goodies that are happening on launch day. I can't believe that this day is actually here, but I kind of can believe it because what I want to talk about today is the reason that it is here. Okay. Today, what I want to talk about is finding your zone of extraordinary achievement. Now, if you've been following along and listened to some of the prior episodes about being extraordinarily committed, about what it took to write this book, you probably have figured out that it took some extraordinary commitment on my part, and it also required me to only work in what I would call the zone of extraordinary achievement. Right? There's so many things that we can be doing on any given day. But if we're going to really make our goals a reality, if we're going to make them inevitable, if we're going to create the results that we want, we have got to work in what I am calling the zone of extraordinary achievement. And here's the good news. Everything we're going to talk about today, you can download a guide to finding your zone of extraordinary achievement and an actual matrix to help you walk through what is within your zone of extraordinary achievement. That is all part of the She Thinks Big toolkit. So if you get your hands on a copy of She Thinks Big at shethinksbigthebook.com, inside you're going to find a QR code that's going to get you to the toolkit, where not only are you going to find this, but you're going to find lots of other resources to help you become the CEO of your business that you want to be. Okay, so this is all part of the free resources, the toolkit within the She Thinks Big book package, I'll call it, right? So go get your hands on a copy of She Thinks Big, the book, and then find the page in there that's going to lead you to the toolkit. There's a QR code in there. So be looking for it. Okay, so let's kind of dig in. Let's dig in. So I am sure you've heard me talk about you can achieve more by doing less. And this is kind of that Michael Hyatt basic premise. Remember, I had Megan Hyatt Miller on the podcast just last week, right? So she's part of Michael Hyatt's company, Full Focus, and they are all about achieving more by doing less. Okay. But here's the catch. I think he's on to something. Okay. He has a kind of a graphic he calls the freedom compass. And he says that every task falls into one of four zones: distraction, disinterested, desire, or drudgery. And he really makes a case that working within your desire zone is where you are truly the most productive and able to focus. And I think that makes a lot of sense. However, I think the situation is a little more complex for entrepreneurs. And I think it's even a little more complex than that for entrepreneurial women. Okay. So in chapter 8 of She Thinks Big, I talk about the fact that you are not just a consumer of energy, you create energy. You are a power generator. All right. And what I mean by that is that because you're an entrepreneur, what you do can not only produce great results for you, but they also produce great results for everyone around you by creating more opportunity. All right. So I want you to think about this. Think about this. If your own actions lead to scaling up your business and hiring more people to perform a great service or sell a great product that benefits more people in the world, then you've created opportunity. You've created jobs. You've created opportunity for customers to achieve their own goals. And it's kind of the same in your personal life, right? So if you're building great relationships and helping others connect, you bring them opportunities that they wouldn't necessarily have. Right? So think about the people you know in your world who are great connectors. They are creating power. They are generating opportunities. You and your family, when you've got more opportunities, then have more quality time together. Okay, you can connect better. You can benefit from all of the people around you. So it makes sense that when you're working efficiently, you're achieving more of these things. Okay. So I developed a system to assess whether a person should be doing an activity or not, based on a few simple criteria. And when you assess whether or not you should be doing something, you're going to make better decisions about what you actually want in life and in business. All right. And when you're doing the right things and not everything, you get into what I call the zone of extraordinary achievement, where you can kind of set up a cycle of success that builds on itself and that creates momentums really easily. Okay. So there's 3 principles to the zone of extraordinary achievement. 3 principles. Okay. Number 1, your personal energy, which I'm going to call either excitement or aversion. Your skill level and the activity result, like the result of doing something based on your priorities. It's similar to Hyatt's concept, okay? But it's got that second dimension of whether or not the task moves us closer to achieving our goals. Okay, so here's how it goes. The first part of it relates to energy and movement. Okay, so if you're excited about doing something and you have the skill, so excitement plus skill, you're going to be super effective and you're going to move things forward. However, if you've got apathy or aversion to doing something and you don't have any skill in it, you're going to be ineffective and you're going to stall out and things aren't going to move forward. It kind of makes sense when we're excited about something, we bring more energy to the table. Okay. But if you're not skilled at it, you may be all excited about it, but you're not going to be as effective because you don't know what you're going to do. You don't have that skill set. You don't know how to do it. Okay. But whether or not you have movement is just one consideration. Okay. The next part has to do with whether or not doing the activity, doing the task, engaging in the project achieves any of your most important priorities. Okay. So if we've got movement, that means we're excited and we know what we're doing. And it moves us closer to our goals. It's a priority area for us. Then we will be in that zone of extraordinary achievement. But if we have movement, so we're excited, we know what we're doing, but it's not something that's in a priority area or a goal-focused area, then you're not working in your zone of extraordinary achievement. It's kind of like non-achievement. So movement towards something might seem like achievement, but it's not achievement if it's not something you really want. I mean, and non-achievement is kind of like busy work, right? Sometimes that's what gets in our way of being extraordinarily committed. It's just kind of like we're interested. We've been doing a lot of busy work around it, but we're not making progress. So I see so many of my clients make the mistake of just settling for any kind of quote, air quotes, progress. Remember that dopamine hit that comes from crossing something off your list, that can get addictive. But if you're crossing something off your list that isn't moving you towards your real goals, it isn't moving you towards maybe something you've wanted to do for years, then you're really underachieving. It doesn't matter what you've crossed off the list. Okay. The progress you seem to be making isn't toward anything meaningful that you want to achieve. You're not making the progress you want. Right. And I see this happen I see my clients sometimes get stuck, we'll call it, in doing things that they actually like doing and that they can do. So they're capable, but they're not things that are really going to move that needle. Remember that needle, that like fuel gauge we talked about last episode, a couple episodes ago? That fuel gauge isn't moving towards the place you want to go, isn't creating what you want it to create. Okay, so that's why it's important to keep not only movement, but destination in mind. Okay, and I get a little deeper into that in this free downloadable Zone of Extraordinary Achievement handout that or downloadable piece inside the She Thinks Big toolkit. So you definitely want to go get your hands on that. Okay, so I'm going to briefly, like super quickly, because I could go into all sorts of places with this. I'm just going to quickly give you the 4 things, the 4 questions you need to ask yourself in order to find where is your zone of extraordinary achievement. So remember, a couple episodes we talked about finding your extraordinary, whether or not you're extraordinarily committed, and I gave you some questions. These are questions to help you find your zone of extraordinary achievement. All right, here's question number 1. Will this activity move me or my business forward? Now, this is the very first question, because if the answer is no, and it could be a yes in the future, but it's a no for right now, then maybe it should not even be on our list. And kind of the second part of the question is, how much will it move things forward? What will have the biggest impact? Okay. Now, these questions don't give you kind of a final answer in and of itself of whether or not something's in your zone of extraordinary achievement, but they're meant to be considered together. Like, will this move my business forward? And if so, how much? All right. Next, I want you to assess, how do you feel about the activity? Do you come at it with enthusiasm or energy, or does it suck the energy out of you? Okay. Is it in the drudgery zone, what Hyatt calls the drudgery zone? Is it something you would easily give up? All right. So in the matrix that you can download, I kind of give you some hints on whether something's a power producer or a black hole. A black hole is something that sucks up all of your energy. Okay. Your energy meter kind of goes into the negative when you think about something. If that's the case, then it's a black hole. But a power producer is something that actually creates more energy for you. So second question is, how do I feel at this activity? Do I come at it with enthusiasm and energy, or does it suck up all of my energy? The next question to ask yourself is, am I good at this? Okay, so there's things that you feel like you may need to do, which do move your business forward, but you're just not good at them. A lot of times finances fall into this category. And it's probably, if it's something that you're just not good at, it's probably taking you way longer than it could take someone else. And although you might say, okay, maybe I should learn how to do this. It's okay, maybe you should, but this isn't the time to do it. Although this isn't really a simple question of efficiency, like some things that you may be good at could be things that you need to get good at. All right. So you can't really answer this question in a vacuum. But you'll see that once you kind of ask yourself, am I good at this activity, combined with all the other questions, you're going to be able to make better decisions. And again, this matrix kind of helps you do that. Now, the fourth question that I want you to ask yourself is, could someone else do this activity instead of me? Are you the only one in the whole world that can do this? Okay. Or could you delegate it? Now, whether or not you have the resources to delegate it, that's a whole other question. Okay. And if you don't, it's here an opportunity for you to think bigger. But if you answer this question two by itself, like in a vacuum, again, not going to give you the whole picture. But the main answer to the question, could I do this? Could someone else do this activity instead of me? Gives you an option to delegate. But until you put everything together, all the pieces of the puzzle here, you're not going to know whether or not you're going to take that option or not. So this is where the Extraordinary Achievers Decision Matrix comes into play. All right. So I want you to go take a peek at the decision matrix. again, it's in the toolkit that you can access through the book. And if you don't have the book, shethinksbigthebook.com is where you're going to find it. Okay. I want you to consider downloading that matrix and kind of filtering all of these projects that you have or tasks that you have ahead of you through the matrix to figure out what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Okay. So I'm going to give you one example. Okay. I'm going to use a fictitious person. All right. So someone named Liz, let's say she owns a small high-end clothing boutique. Okay. And she loves interacting with customers on the sales floor. She loves putting outfits together, but she kind of has limited time to do that. She does have on her team already 4 excellent salespeople. So should she give up her time on the floor and focus on other things? Or should she stick with the time she does have on the sales floor? Right. But if we put this through the test, okay, we could say this. Well, sales generate revenue, right? So if Liz actually sells something while she's on the sales floor, it is going to move her business forward. Sales is one of Liz's biggest power producers. She gets excited about it. She loves people. She loves helping them find what they need. Okay. That gives her more energy. Number 3, she's really good at sales. She's better at it than actually any of those other 4 salespeople. She's actually an expert. She's the one that trains them all. Okay. But the 4th question, is she the only one that could do this? The answer to that is no. Her team is excellent. Okay. She's personally trained all of them, and they've all been there for a while. So should Liz continue doing sales? Here's my answer. It seems like something she could delegate. Okay. It seems like something she could delegate. Does it move her priorities forward? Yes. Okay. But now we've got to look at those other hidden factors about how it does so. Liz realizes that sales don't only generate revenue, sales do a few other things. Okay. And Liz has other tasks that she really doesn't love doing as much as the sales, but it doesn't really make sense to hire them out right now. Okay. If she gives up her sales time, which she only does for about an hour a day, should be spending about 70% of her time on those tasks that she doesn't really love. And her sales time actually inspires her to power through those things that she doesn't love. Okay. And in addition, she's really intuitive when she's selling. She can interact with customers and predict what they're going to do way more than anyone else on that sales floor. So her strength in this area is really a strong force behind her business success. And she really can't at this point afford to lose that advantage. So with those answers in mind, Liz would be foolish to give up her precious sales time. Okay. So notice we had to take the answers from all 4 of those questions to figure out whether or not this is something that's in her zone of extraordinary achievement right now. So you can kind of see how this matrix really allows you to think through these decisions. But another key is knowing as much as possible about yourself and the big picture, and kind of be willing to listen to your instincts. Right? That's the truth. Okay, my friends, I could go on and on about this. We could talk about shiny objects and energy vampires, but I'm going to save that for you to look at once you download this Zone of Extraordinary Achievement in the She Thinks Big Toolkit, which you can access through the She Thinks Big book. So head to shethinksbigthebook.com. You can get it today. It's finally live. I'm clapping. And do it. And then find the page all about downloading things from the toolkit. Okay. Just because the book is live, it doesn't mean that we're going to stop talking about thinking big. In fact, it means that we're probably going to talk about it more. And if you are finding yourself kind of stuck in a small little box, stuck doing things that you dread, stuck not moving your business forward, then we've got to talk. We've got to talk, my friends. So let's talk. Why not? Why not? Why not give yourself the support you need and through just a conversation, one conversation, to help move things forward? So let's have that conversation. Head to Andrea's with an S, linkswithaNS.com, and click the book a call button. It's all in the show notes too. And I really want to chat with you because guess what? It's my mission in life to create more big thinkers, to create what I'm calling the Think Big movement. Because life's too short to stay small. All right. I will see you next week. Remember, now is the time to level up. There never ever has been a better time. Stop waiting, stop wishing, stop wanting. Let's do it. Okay. I will see you next week. Have a great day.